to try and claw back that lead that Alex Pagulayan has got. Maximum 5 racks remaining. He's in his seat at the moment. Chao about to run out this rack. Big match, this one. Our commentators, Steve Davis and Jim Wash.
Pagulayan knows Chao's getting a little closer. Perhaps not panic stations yet. But when he gets a chance, he's still got to get over the line. So Chao is showing great character here.
The fight back continues. The Canadian star Pagulayan just wanting one more, but most important, it's Chao at the table to break.
Good break. He lost the cue ball somewhat. Ooh. An inch from defeat.
And a shot at the 2.
But not the nicest shot on the 2. Anytime you have close cueing to a cushion, limits what you can do with the cue ball, and he's not certain to be able to concentrate fully on position to the 4 here. Needs to put a good stroke on this. He did. Is he on the 4 nicely? Well, he has a chance at the 4 past the 7. He missed one of these earlier. This is a little easier. Any one shot could spell the end of the match for Chao. He mustn't think about that. He's just going to concentrate on the shot in hand. Pagulayan sitting in his chair, thinking, I only need one more chance. Please give it to me.
Johnny Archer mounted a fight back in the last one here on the main table, only to fall short at the last hurdle when coming up dry with the break. Chao wants to try and go one better.
We'll pot this 6 ball. Spin the cue ball around the back of the 9 and 7. I think he'll choose the 2 cushion route to come back into the middle of the table, although there is a possibility of straightening the cue ball up and coming across the face of the 9 ball. Choices, but you can see from where he's cueing on the ball that he's coming round the back.
He's starting to let that cue arm go.
He's showing great composure. Seems to have calmed down a bit now. He realizes that he's on the brink of defeat, and in some ways sometimes that does calm a player down. He hasn't got to worry about looking over his shoulder at somebody coming back at him. And it's in the phase of the match where the coolest head can sometimes win from any position.
I don't think you'll find a cooler customer than Chao.
Left-handed. Ooh, bit of a twitch. Don't think he pulled the cue back more than a centimetre there before he Struck it. Killed the pace on the cue ball perfectly. Can he run out 3 more racks with his break? Suffering big time.
Thank you. Rack 19. Chao to break, trailing by 10 racks to 8.
The order of the day here, another good break off. Wants to guard against that cue ball going into the side. It was very close in the last one.
Great break. Ooh, the crowd love that one.
They really get behind their players here. Open shot at the 2. Made 3 balls off the break there. So it's going to be from the 2 to the 5. And just check the bottom of your picture. You'll see that graph that tells you exactly what is remaining on the table.
Chao has just worked out that as long as he avoids contact on the 7 ball, he will probably have a shot on the 5. You can see working the line of the cue ball around the table.
This, Steve, is where they use those diamonds or the circles here on this pool table just to gauge where they need to get to on the table.
Yes, you may have worked out the significance of the spots around the table. They are, I believe, more to do with the game of carom than pool. Sort of throwback to a number of years where there was some sort of way of working out if you hit one spot, it would then hit other spots around the table, and you could work out how you could maneuver the cue ball around the table to make the cannon on the other ball on the table. He flicked the 7. He didn't want that. And he's just about on the 5. He's been pretty fortunate there. I say just about on the 5. And I mean.
Any more contact down that 7, there's no way he would have had a clear look at the 5. As it is, he's there, but it's not going to make position to the 6 any easier.
Well, obviously, if he could play a stun shot and just dribble the cue ball through a fraction afterwards, that would be nice position. But that's risky. If he catches it too well, he could snooker himself behind the 5. I think perhaps he'll play to draw back to play a fairly firm screw back here. No, he played the roll through stun shot, and the trouble with that was that if he did contact it too well with roll through, he was leaving himself an awkward 6. Didn't hit that very well at all. The nerves are starting to show here. That was a very awkward shot to play, a slow stun run through. I think he would have been probably better off screwing back there, playing a firmer shot. Now looking, working out where the cue ball's going to arrive. In contrast to our first match, that went on a little bit longer than most people thought. I've been quite fascinated by this match. I thought the first match against with Archer involved was a bit of a tough one to watch. It wasn't the best standard, was it, Jim?
No, it did get pretty patchy at some stages.
You can understand, you know, World Championships and nerves, but this has been a fascinating match.
And even though this one has been in duration for just over 2 hours now, it certainly hasn't dragged. It's had its moments, and the pressure is building here.
Well, exactly where he put his finger earlier. Oh, if he claps that fast, he's in trouble. He could explode.
Another look at this shot. Judged perfectly the contact to the 6 and the arrival of the cue ball to leave the 7 at Chao's mercy.
Understandably, just taking that beat longer. Gone is the rhythm that was there earlier when the racks were coming nicely right at the start of the match, when he sort of more or less continued in the same vein as yesterday. And now it's down to grinding away at the business end of the match, when the nerves are a bit frayed and you need to take your time between shots. He's not happy. It doesn't look to be a problem, I must admit. I mean, he's only got to screw it back for position. He probably just doesn't want to leave himself close to the cushion, that's all. But no real problems with this shot. Okay, so he would have liked to have been a bit closer. That's the only thing, really, without getting too much of an angle on the 8 ball. Missable if the arm doesn't go through correct. He's just got to try and deliver the cue through smoothly.
Center of the pocket. This 9 will draw Chao closer still.
Well, that cue ball got a very, very nice kick. Has the 5 still remained in open play? Keep your eye on the 5 and the 7 ball as they come down the table. He's certainly on the 2. 5 and the 7. Limited, but gettable.
Steve, are we going to see an instant replay of the last match where a player digs down, fights his way back, only to fall at the last hurdle? Well, if that 5's available, we're going to know very shortly.
Oh, it is. It is. Not only is it available, I think he can see enough of it that he can actually get out positionally without disturbing the 7 onto the green 6. That's just about perfect.
Leaving himself plenty of angle to get a little closer to that 6.
2 choices here. Spin inside the 7, 2 cushions, or screw back 2 cushions with the opposite side spin. Both ways he'll have a shot at the 6.
noticeably and understandably taking more time over every shot. The significance magnified.
By where he's just lined up, it looks like he's going to play with right-hand spin and bottom backspin. Draw the cue ball off the rail. 2 cushions. The only danger, not hitting firm enough and snooging himself behind the 8. He's got to strike this very smoothly and low. There's the 8 in. Oh, he got lucky. Ooh. He would have been unfortunate, really, at that pace to have hit the 8 ball and it stayed on the path of the 6 ball. Alex can still get a smile on. Well, not for very long, but it was a smile. He really is showing great character here, Chao. He's been on the brink for a long time in this match. He's drawing inspiration, digging very deep. Using every ounce of experience he's built up playing this game of 9-ball pool. Sometimes, even to play the simplest of shots under pressure, you need to have that experience. Well, what price Pagulayan now, Jim?
Thank you. The deciding rack, Chao to break.
Hold your breath. Didn't hit it as well. And look how the balls just have some sort of... They just want to make sure it's exciting, don't they, those balls? He just didn't hit it exactly the same. He didn't get as much of a smooth action on the shot. He didn't hit it with a power, perhaps just a little bit more tense. And look where they've ended up. The 5, 7 and 9 have stayed in a cluster around the middle of the table. Probably won't cause too many problems, that, but ooh, just an edge. Can't afford to hit that edge. Must play a push out, I think.
Well, he can see enough to make it, Steve, and it looks like the cue ball would be going into the 2. Or certainly looks very close to being able to see enough.
Ooh.
Maybe just enough to overcut it.
It's a tempter, isn't it? Only he'll know if he can see enough. Look at him looking there. You see the cue there on the 3. What was he looking at?
Would he push out into a jump? No one would do that. In the 21st rack.
So he's looking to push out behind the 3 to tempt the jump shot that perhaps he fancies more than Pagulayan. My goodness.
Push out.
He's called push out. Oh no! What a great shot this would be. But he's telegraphed what he's going to do. He's now going to ask a big, big question of Alex Pagulayan. But also of himself, should he be put back in?
I don't think there'll be any doubt he'll be put back in. Even though Pagulayan jumps very well, surely the odds have to be against getting this one. Look at this move.
And he's
They'll talk about this for some time if it pays dividends.
There was no way he could push out, perhaps under the circumstances, to leave Pagulayan any part of the 1. But he felt confident enough that he would be the favourite. So Pagulayan correctly puts, I suppose correctly, puts Chao back on the table. And these balls are going to be harder to jump over now they've increased in size.
Well, this is simply going to be one of those instances where Alex is going to say, if you can knock it in, more power to you.
What a shot. Well, did he play the safety? Could he have possibly played the safety? Who knows? The crowd think they know. There's just an edge hanging out, I believe, for Pagulayan. He looked a long way out with the pot there. You're shaking your head, Jim. Tell me what's on your mind. And
Well,
he's a fellow countryman, Alex.
I'm just going to take this maple leaf off my chest for a minute.
So you think he was lucky that he played the pot, did you?
Oh, I'm pretty sure he went for the pot there, Steve. I think that that's worked out pretty well for Chao. And now Alex gets out of his chair. He's been there for about 45 minutes. And this is what he sees. The edge of the one. Long distance. Knowing that a mistake may be his last.
He has been sitting in his chair without a shot for quite a period of time. I'm still not so sure. I've still got a feeling he might have played the safety there. You're still shaking your head, aren't you?
It's that mosquito.
There's a mosquito around here somewhere with half a pint of blood and mine, and he's probably on the floor.
We'll have a look at that man's t-shirt. From 10-5, then never gave up hope.
This has got to be extra thin to keep it on the top cushion. It's a great try. Has he got enough speed on the... Just about, I think. Perhaps not. Yes, he has. Can Chao play a jump shot? Difficult in jumping that because the 5 and the 7 are all quite a way away to keep the cue ball on the table afterwards.
Also, Steve, with the one so near the cushion, that's what he's looking at. But if that white's airborne when it hits that one, it could well be on the floor.
A very realistic chance should he try to kick out of getting the ball safe, perhaps. Can he clip the edge of the one? Don't think so. Is that the jump cue? I can't see. No. The kick shot to try and get in behind the 7, behind the 5 and the 7 and the 9. Well, he didn't do that, and perhaps it wasn't a possibility. Perhaps that was me being too adventurous in the commentary box. But you'd have to say that he got the 3 involved in the shot. Made it a bit more difficult for Alex to get nice cueing, and more importantly, he got the 1 safe. Is there a chance? Is there a chance of a speculative double here with an element of safety? The long bank shot, holding his nerve, perhaps using the 6 ball as a bit of insurance.
Well, not just that, Steve. You got to look at the safety. How easy is the safety?
Up and down the table, banking this. He's shaking like a leaf here. The slow bank. It looks like it's in.
Close.
What a great shot from Pagulayan.
What about that shot then? Another look. And the cue ball nicely onto the 2.
What a great pressure shot there. Got quite excited for a moment. Now to convert it. Not guaranteed 2 to 3.
Not at all, Steve.
Tricky position for the balls. The natural path to get nice position on the 3. The 6 is covering. Straight up the table seems to be the option, but that's always a risky shot. Has he got enough pace on it? Oh, no. I think you can tell from the crowd's perspective that they quite like that shot. Ooh. Alex, one positional shot.
Thank you.
The whole
Settle down.
equation of this last rack has changed. It wasn't an easy way to go about the position, and he may be forced now to try and make this 3-ball off of 2 rails, hitting not the side of the table he's standing on at the moment, coming across to the right-hand rail. Well, if he committed himself on the 1-ball, he's got to commit himself even more on this 3-ball. He's more or less obligated to try and make this, but if he does make it, he's got to retain some type of position on the 5. So he's got to roll it slowly, and if he leaves it dying in the hole, it's game over. Shot.
This is some kind of magic you're seeing here.
And should the 5 not go past the 7, he's got a relatively easy safety. Does it go past? It must do. Yes, it does.
A roller coaster ride of emotions for players and fans alike.
Well, good applause there from the crowd, and just looking out in the auditorium, many times when he's applauding that shot, they just want to see great Paul, and they want to see their champion win. Pagulayan is so close to the finishing line now. He's had a really torrid time the last few racks. He's had to withstand a great comeback from Chao. Chao more or less knows he's out. 3 shots, 3 perfect shots. And he's in great shape here.
When he was called upon, he provided the goods, did Chao. No one could have expected we were going to see a 21st rack in this one, not at 10-5. He dug deep. And only some terrific shot making from Alex Pagulayan looks to have halted his progress. And what a great shot. Look at Pagulayan. The celebration starts now. This 9 for an emphatic win. What a win. The Canadian champion through to the semifinals. But what a game fight from Chao. Just an unbelievable effort, falling short at just the last hurdle. But Pagulayan can celebrate. He is through to the semifinals.